everybody. Excuse me. Hello everybody. Welcome back to my movie review series. Today we'll be discussing the movie Jumper. So this was the one that I was talking about on my the other movie review, Looper. I thought this was Jumper. So this was the one, but I already reviewed Looper. So you know how we do it. My constitutional rights are violated. I'm trying to put out as much content as I can to try to create an opportunity for myself. Allegedly, here in the United States of America, if you are disciplined, educated, work hard, and try, something will happen. But in my experience, this just isn't true. Everyone just lies, cheats, and steals. So I'll give you another movie review. Because remember, the movie reviews get the most views. So I'll do another movie review then. Remember, this is all a proof. Everything I put out is a proof. And so, you guys think I'm fucking joking about fucking something. I haven't produced anything yet? Okay, we'll see about that. So I'm going to write down every writing script that I've ever interacted with, and we'll see who's who. So I'll do another movie review today, because those get the most views. You know how we do it. Overall impressions and grade after providing the logistics as presented by Google. Then I'll give you my grade. If you have not seen the movie and would like to, you're going to shut off that video because there will be spoiler alerts. We'll be discussing the plot synopsis and character development, and any similar movies or major themes. So it says... Jumper, PG-13, released in 2008. It's a sci-fi/action movie. Again, I like science fiction. I think it's a good fertile ground for interesting writing scripts. We have an hour and 30-minute runtime. Nice, quick movie. Google says it's fantastic, thrilling, and exciting. The description: aimless David Rice, played by Hayden Christensen, has the ability to instantly transport himself to any place he can imagine. He uses that gift to globetrot, living on money he steals by jumping into bank vaults. He's captured by the evil Robin Cox, played by Samuel L. Jackson, who knows how to keep David from jumping. David escapes and reunites with his high school crush Millie, played by Rachel Bilson, then forms an alliance with fellow jumper Griffin, played by Jamie Bell, and prepares for mortal combat with Cox. Whoa. Originally released in 2008, box office did $225 million, had a budget of $85 million. 60% liked it on Google, a whopping 15% liked it on Rotten Tomatoes, and 6.1 out of 10 on IMDb. Too low to even round it up to 6.9. So overall, I enjoyed it. I'm gonna give this one a solid B. Again, I like the romance story. It's not nearly as strong as I Am Number 4 that we reviewed yesterday. But again, I like science fiction movies. Might not be for some people, but it's just more interesting than another crime detective movie, to me, honestly. And so the cinematography was done well. I thought the plot was decently novel. I thought the characterizations were strong. No screaming, not much, no off-putting characters. So overall, I found this one entertaining. I might definitely recommend it. Not as strong as the romance as I Am Number 4 movie. So if you've not seen it, I recommend this one. I find this entertaining if you enjoy science fiction movies, and it's quick. It's 1 hour and 30 minutes, so the timing, again, when's something done, whenever it's whenever, you know, how long should you write, how long should you prove, whatever it takes. So I thought an hour and 30 minutes was good for this movie script. So if you've not seen it and would like to, you want to shut the video, there will be spoiler alerts. So the movie opens up, you meet David Rice. He's a 15-year-old. I think he's 15 at the start. But regardless, he opens up, and he is at a high school. Yeah, he's 50 when the movie opens up. And so he approaches this girl named Millie Harris, and he gives her this, I don't know, like a snow globe type of thing. And so he gives her the snow globe. Millie's all excited, seems pretty happy about it. Then you meet kind of the bully, Mark Kobold. He comes out and picks on David, takes the snow globe from Millie, and is like, look what... I think the nickname is like Rice, Rice Balls, what they call him, kind of like his nickname. But he takes like the snow globe thing and throws it onto this frozen river. And so, Millie's trying to stop Mark from bullying David, and David's all sad that the gift that he gave to the cute girl is being thrown into the river. So he goes out to get it. It's I think it opens up in. Again, it says 2008, modern day to 2008, but it's in somewhere in Michigan, and so he goes out to get the snow globe, and he gets the snow globe and falls through the ice. And so it's obviously a river because he gets swept under, and so he can't find an air hole, and then he jumps for the first time. So that's in the description, teleportation. So he can now jump to random places. And so it's not random places. It turns out to be places that he's been to before, I believe. I don't think it's explicitly said, but it seems to be implied that he jumps to places that you've visited before. So that's what I think's going on. But regardless, he jumps to his school library or his local library. And so he pulls a bunch of water with him, so a bunch of people are standing around looking like, why is this guy all soaking wet and has water on him? And so he goes back home, you meet his father, William Rice, you get some background, some narration. It's like, William Rice is an alcoholic, Mary Rice, the mother, has left, and David is, just kind of like on his own. And so that's kind of what happens. And then he goes back to his house with William Rice, his dad, and it's like, banging on the door. It's like, David, and he's got this newfound ability, and he teleports away. And then you kind of get a fast forward. So they explicitly say when he's 15 then, and then they don't really give an explicit date to what age he is for the most part of the movie. But I'd say early 20s. They look like teenagers to me, but they say out of high school, so I'm guessing college age, 20 to 23, just for the characterization. But regardless, David has now mastered his ability at jumping. He's got a nice apartment. He's been jumping into bank vaults for some time. He's got some stacks. He secured the bag. But he goes back to, and so then you get introduced to the Samuel L. Jackson character, Roland Cox. He is I forget what they call him. There's not plantain, not fried bread or deep fried bananas, but there's some paladins is what they call them. But these are the people that hunt the jumpers. And so there's more than one jumper, and there's this group of people hunting the paladins. And so David Rice is now fast forward. He's got this newfound ability. Wants to pull up on the old high school sweetheart. And finds her house. The mom says she works at this bar. Goes to the bar, finds her, and goes to leave without saying anything. And Mark Cobalt is there, recognizes him, and then David is like, and then Millie approaches David like, I saw you staring at me for 45 minutes. Aren't you going to say anything? But since the river scene, they weren't sure if he was alive or not. And so he's back now. And so David, kind of has, talk with Millie. And then him and Mark get into a fight. David punches Mark, and David jumps with Mark into the bank vault. And so once you meet the Roland Cox character, he's investigating the first initial bank robbery, which I believe is when David's the 15-year-old character. He was the 15 when he does that. You have some quick cut scene with Roland Cox, Samuel L. Jackson, looking into this bank robbery, and now David Rice jumps Mark Cobalt back to the bank vault, and to frame him basically. But minor plot development. And so Roland Cox interviews Mark Cobalt, and Mark's like, no one's gonna believe me, and Roland Cox is like, do you see me laughing, or you see me bluffing or joking? And so he knows it's real, but he just gets some information on David and Millie Harris. And so David basically asks out Millie Harris. She's like, let's skip the small talk. And he's like, well, let's go. In the opening scenes, she had like a note on her locker, and in the 15-year-old scenes, like, I want to travel to these places. So he's like, let's go to Rome. And so Millie's like, what do you do? David says, I'm a banker. And so they fly normally to Rome. That sets off some sensors on the Paladin's radar. They go to Rome, and they're going to the Colosseum, and most of it's like closed for the day, or just restricted access, employees only type of thing. But David can jump around, and so he's like, oh, this door just opens, and Millie kind of catches on, reviewing the plot of the movie, not talking in first person of the characterizations. She's now picking up on what's exactly going on. These doors were closed. And so he opens them up, and they go start walking around, and they want to go into like the lower gladiator area. And so this is when you get introduced to the other jumper in the movie named Griffin. I think his accent sounds Irish, didn't really exactly sound English. But regardless, he's watching David, calling him a rookie, bringing a girl around, jumping around a girl. But regardless, they go down into this lower area, and David is going to go get one more door open, and Millie's behind the door, and he meets Griffin, and then these two paladins come to try to attack them or kill them. You get another cut scene where Roland Cox catches these kind of like wand things that can transmit some electricity to stop them from jumping. So you have a scene where Roland Cox kills another jumper, and he gets a phone call, and it's like, we have another lead for you. And so back at the Coliseum, David is with Griffin. Griffin's calling him a rookie. They fight off these two paladins, and then Griffin jumps to, he's got this lair, calls it, but somewhere in the Egyptian desert. David has a jump spot. So basically, again, wherever they've been before, they can jump back to. And so and David's been to Egypt as well, but Griffin has this lair in Egypt where Griffin is hunting the paladins in the same way the paladins are hunting the jumpers. And so he calls it a jump scar. David is able to go through whatever Griffin does as well. And so it goes back to the lair. They have some conversation Griffin's literally playing Xbox, and you're in my way. I'm hunting these paladins. David's like, let's go kill Roland. And he's like, you better get back to Rome or your girlfriend's gonna die. So he jumps back to Rome, pops out to Millie Harris, gets arrested by the police for trespassing, and then you meet Mary Rice. So David hasn't seen his mother since childhood, since he was 5. And she comes back up, and he's arrested in Italy, and she lets him go, and she's like, you have 20 seconds. And so David jumps out, takes Millie Harris to the airport, and it's like, you got to get on this plane without me. And she's like, I know something's, you're not telling me the whole story. And he shows her the bag of money, and he's like, I'm into banks, but I don't really work for them or something to that effect. But because he told her he's into banking, she gets on the plane and gets sent home. And so past that, he jumps back and has some back and forth with Griffin. I think they go to Japan. Griffin steals a car. Griffin can jump anything that moves. He tells David that he knew a jumper one time that tried to jump a whole building, and the mass was too much, so it killed him. And so they kind of go back and forth, and David's like, let's work together and try to kill Roland Cox. And he's like, I have 8 hours till the plane lands from Italy back in Michigan to try to save the cute girl, Millie. And she is a cutie. So regardless, there was one other quick cut scene where David jumps back to his home house, and William Rice is going crazy, is this real? And David's like, everything's real. You're not crazy. And then jumps once again. Mark Kobold's pretty much out of the picture at this point in the movie. But now they're going to try to kill Roland Cox. So they jump there. They fight him a little bit. I'm not exactly sure. Early in the movie, Roland Cox approaches David, but David asks him to leave, is able to escape. But David and Griffin go to Kyrgyzstan, or I think not being political, but one of the regions currently being bombed or something. But they go to a war zone, and David jumps Griffin into this electrical circuit, so he can't move that well. And he goes back to his house, or jumps back and sees Millie safe. And then Roland kind of catches up with them. And then again, going through these jump scars, Roland is able to capture Millie. After David brings Roland to his Griffin's lair in Egypt-ish area, and then so now Millie's captured, and David and Griffin have to kind of team up or whatever, but David's gonna do it alone. I think, yeah. And so he does that. He goes back, or Griffin basically, they have this like box to keep these jump scars open. Again, I'm not gonna get it completely correct, but David goes back. He's fighting off Roland. I think Griffin does help in these scenes. I can't exactly remember, but regardless, from the premonition of Griffin in the Japanese scene where it's like this dude tried to jump a whole building and he died. Now David jumps an entire like room of his house or his apartment. They land in some water again, and David's able to rescue Millie. And I believe they do kill Roland. I don't know. Again, it's a rated PG-13 movie. It's not gory or graphic in any way. But regardless, kind of getting to the resolution of the movie, I do believe they kill Roland. I don't know. I kind of forget. Regardless, the last kind of resolution to the movie is David finds his mother Mary Rice from the scene when she was in Italy, letting him loose, and he realizes that since he was 5 years old, that's when his mother left. That's when he had his first jump or whatever. And so he confronts Mary. She has another daughter, which is an extremely minor character. Looked like an actress I've seen before, though. He approaches his mother, and she was like, we're hunting you. And he's like, so where do we go from here? And she's like, I'm giving you a head start. And he's like, basically, okay, whatever. And then he goes outside. He's with Millie Harris for sure. He's like a couple. And then she was like, take me somewhere warm. And so that's kind of the resolution of the movie is David Rice is on one side, his mother is on the other side. He gets the cute girl. Amazing. The movies I seem to like have a cute relationship in them. It's almost like I want a girlfriend. I'm going on 30 in a couple months. Sweet. But overall, I found the movie very entertaining. It's a quick 1 hour and 30 minutes. Good science fiction action movie. Rated PG-13, not gory or graphic in any way. Decently interesting concept. So overall, B. So major themes, similar movies. I like romance movies and I like science fiction movies. I don't know. So thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.